Hello, I'm Ryan.
And I'm JS.
And we are doing an instant trailer review for Noah.
You better believe it.
The long-awaited Darren Aronofsky epic.
Yes.
I'll get my thoughts out of the way ahead of time. I like the trailer.
Okay.
I'm going to say yesa to Noah.
You actually said that. Okay. Well, I'm a little more mixed, actually.
Okay.
Noah has been my most anticipated film for 2014 for a while now.
Yeah. We should say, for those of you who don't know, Darren Aronofsky is the director of Pi, Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain, Black Swan, most recently.
The Wrestler. My favorite, actually, of his films.
Wow, interesting. There are many faces of Darren Aronofsky. So now we see Russell Crowe as the titular Noah.
Getting his feet wet.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
nice.
looking forward...
Can we go back to that?
Of course we can.
Look at these, okay. This is a very pre-viz,
I will say the glow on the hand leaves a bit of effects work to be desired.
Yeah.
This snake thing coming out of the skin, pretty cool.
I like the second part of this.
These are evoking the Garden of Eden.
Right. It must be like a dream sequence that Noah has.
Yes.
And he's just woken up from seeing the destruction of his people.
Wouldn't it just be great if they had a daisy chain of him waking up from dreams?
He's going to destroy the world.
So yes, Russell Crowe is Noah. I mean, it was a role that could have gone to Michael Fassbender.
Or Christian Bale was offered the role
That
as
would
well.
have been interesting.
Darren Aronofsky's been trying to get this film made for quite a while.
Since like 2007.
Yeah, and getting the budget together for a movie like this with the high budget that it needs, it was quite a feat. There's Anthony Hopkins as Methuselah.
Yes, the oldest man who ever did live.
I mean, are we talking about Anthony Hopkins now?
Yeah. And so he's Noah's grandfather.
Yeah, so there are a lot of like biblical visions like that.
That's got to be.
Seems it's supposed to be Cain and Abel.
Sure.
There's Ray Winstone. His role was offered to Liam Neeson.
Oh, really? Okay.
And Liev Schreiber, I believe, was considered as well.
Would annihilate this world.
So yeah, he's basically learning all the stakes up front.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what more than this? You know, the destruction of the whole world. And so he has, I'm sure you all know, needs to build a boat.
There's a boat involved.
Yeah.
These images are cool because they remind me a lot of The Fountain. There's a scene at the end of The Fountain that has a lot of flowers growing and like things growing. And Darren Aronofsky, although it does not seem that he stuck to it in this, tries to do as many practical effects as possible. And with him, that doesn't necessarily mean like Chris Nolan flipping a truck. Like there's a lot of space shots in The Fountain, and none of them were used computers. Like it was all like ink and water and stuff composited.
This is almost like the opposite actually, because there's not a single real animal
No
in
animals.
this movie. So
A great flood is coming.
Which is interesting.
We build a vessel to survive the storm.
that's our first shot at the construction.
Yeah, so we see a little more of his family. There's Jennifer Connelly and Logan Lerman playing his wife and son, respectively.
A little bit more realistic than the arc we saw in Evan Almighty.
Yes, as well as 2012. Although this trailer reminds me a lot of the film 2012, and if you look at the poster, it does as well.
What do you want?
Now here's a bit of a kind of a spoiler alert from what we've heard. We know some people who've read the script of this film.
Yeah.
Apparently,
and even the Wikipedia.
So spoilers
synopsis,
are about to follow. We don't know if this made it into the film, but apparently in the script, a very large part of the film involves 6-armed angels
That's true.
that came from another planet.
Yeah. They're aliens known as the Watchers. And I'm pretty sure they're in the final film. We're not seeing them here at all.
Now, however you feel about the presence of that in the story of Noah, why they didn't put that in the trailer is beyond me. I understand that they may lose certain audience members by doing that, but man, if I don't want to see those things in the trailer.
For a lot of us, we'd love to see that, but I think the target demographic audience would not be thrilled with that. Actually.
Perhaps not.
Find me.
I would.
I'm not alone.
It would be awesome.
That was like a classic, like Russell Crowe, like letting the pause before hold the weight of the line he's about to say.
And it's so interesting that they chose Black Swan of all of his films.
Yeah, well,
I mean that's the one he's probably most renowned
recent,
for.
but it was his most successful by far.
Absolutely.
So that's cool. And now we're getting just into like straight imagery. There are all the fake animals, and I'll tell you what, not fooling anybody.
ILM said this film had its most visually effects complex shot ever.
With all the animals.
Yeah, and so
Well, it's good to hear that ILM is doing the effects.
Yeah.
That's very good. There will be many.
So we're gonna have a little bit of a war scene with rocks and stuff, which is good.
Yeah, the thing that there's Emma Watson. She and Logan Lerman worked together as well on Perks Being a Wallflower, and Russell Crowe and Jennifer Connelly played a husband and wife in Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, that's very pretty.
The thing for me that's most interesting about this trailer, the trailer itself is, in terms of
It's the end of everything.
Of kind of epic movie trailers, it's pretty formulaic. It's got like the huge score and kind of like shows you all these huge beats. I'm hoping that the actual movie has a little more of Darren Aronofsky in it.
Sure.
But I understand also that trying to get this film made with the constraints of the budget and the studio, like Darren Aronofsky working with over $100 million budget is not going to grant him the freedom that Darren Aronofsky has working with $20 million. So the movie looks awesome, and I love him as a filmmaker. I really hope, though, that more of him comes out than we're seeing in this trailer.
Right.
Because a lot of the imagery, like the Garden of Eden stuff, even if it looks kind of pre-busy, and like the sword going in, setting on fire, although that's obviously a biblical reference, I think that I'd love to see more weird, interesting imagery that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm on board for that as well. Right now, I'm really being tossed to and fro.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that there's a little more Darren Aronofsky, but the epicness of it is amazing.
Sure.
And I think it comes out at the end of March, so
I think
the effects will only get better. It's March 28th in the U.S. I looked it up.
Okay.
The effects will only get better from here. So I'm excited. The cast is amazing. Darren Aronofsky is a great filmmaker.
He is. He absolutely is one of the best American filmmakers working today. A leaked trailer came out a few weeks ago. I saw that and I was really disappointed. It was a lot more, what's the word, didactic than this? A little more like aiming for that target Christian audience.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's been a lot of talk lately that Paramount and Aronofsky have been struggling over who gets final cut. And they've, I guess, presented it to Jewish audiences, Christian audiences, and regular audiences here in LA, the regular folk. And they didn't like what they heard from either, or any of the three.
Well, it could end up being one of those things that it's like by trying to please everyone, they ended up pleasing no one.
Sure.
I hope that they please everybody, because I'm excited about this movie. Most of all, I hope that they please me.
I would love for this to be, you know, as successful as like Passion of the Christ, but I don't think it is that bold.
I just hope it's awesome.
I'm right there with you. I hope all of those things. I really do. But
I've been waiting for this movie for a long time.
I feel it's been neutered, actually.
Yeah,
I think if Aronofsky got his real vision, this would not be a PG-13 film, which it most certainly will be.
That's absolutely true. I completely agree with you. But let us know what you think.
Please do.
Comment below. Let us know. Do you say yesa to Noah? That's 2 times I got to say that. Gene Shalit, I'm coming for you. Until next time, I'm Ryan.
And I'm JS.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.